Hi, my name is Erin, and I study farming and global climate change at a lab at the University of Alberta. So how does farming alter greenhouse gas emissions and therefore global climate change? Well, we can do certain farming practices that actually increase or reduce global climate change. So when we think of agriculture or farming releases greenhouse gases, which are gases that trap heat and lead to global climate change. Farming can release greenhouse gases, or we can actually store greenhouse gases in the soil, and therefore we can reduce global climate change. So some ways we can use farming to alter global climate change is by managing how much fertilizer we put on the soil. So if any of you have gardens, or maybe you have someone in your life that gardens, they might apply fertilizer to your soil, which is essentially nutrients that helps your plant grow. Those nutrients need to be managed so they don't actually feed microbes in the soil, which are tiny microscopic beings that breathe and release greenhouse gases naturally. So we feed them by fertilizing. But if we don't fertilize too much and we manage our fertilizer appropriately, we're going to get better plants and not as many greenhouse gas emissions. As well, farmers can do something we call tillage. So tillage is essentially when they go into soil with their big equipment and they churn it all up. Okay, and they do this to prepare the soil for next year's crop. Sometimes, however, tillage actually leads to all this soil carbon being available then for, again, those microbes, those tiny microscopic beings in the soil to eat, essentially. So they eat this carbon that was once protected in the soil that's been broken up now by tillage, and this leads to greenhouse gas emissions as well. So if we are able to alter our farming methods to reduce tillage or even no till at all with special equipment, we can actually reduce our greenhouse gas emissions from farming and then subsequently reduce our global climate change impact from farming. And finally, when we think about soils and agriculture, soils can be this amazing store of carbon. So plants use photosynthesis to convert carbon dioxide in the air to carbon in their bodies. Okay? So when plants die, they actually return that carbon to the soil, and then soil will store it, sometimes for like thousands and thousands of years. So soil is this amazing store of carbon, okay? So it's really important then to have growing plants on our soils as much as possible to convert carbon dioxide in the air into soil carbon, which will then be able to store it for tens, hundreds, even thousands of years. So that's how farming can actually alter global climate change.